everyone, welcome to day 1 of our 12 days of Christmas. Today is all about Prism, so I thought I'd show you 2 really quick ways of making some beautiful backgrounds with some of our Prism products. First up, we're going to use our Prism Ink Pads. I've chosen a selection of our pinks, oranges and yellows, and what we're going to do is we're going to create a really funky background by utilising some of our masking tapes. So I've gone with the 2 smallest ones, and for starters I'm going to start by masking this down and covering up the edges. So you want to make sure that you do this and you make sure that it is right up to the edge. And I'm just doing this on a piece of cardstock that is 2 notches smaller than 6 3/4 by 4 3/4. So once you've got your base layer on, then you can get really funky with your sort of stripes. So again, I'm going to utilize this, and you want to make sure that when you're doing this, you can do sort of different widths, but you need to make sure that they are kind of straight when you're doing it as well. So just mixing and matching from both widths of cardstock, and also widths of spacing as well. As you can see, I've done some that are really thin, I've done some that are a bit thicker, but it's going to make the card look really quite fun in the end. So once you've got all of your tape and you're happy with kind of how it's starting to look, then we can get really funky with our inks. Now I'm going to start off with my chili red and then go through to my pinks and finish off with my yellows. So straight on the top here with your red, and you can go over this and build this up as much as you want. You can also cover sort of as many bases as you want as well. So starting off quite dark and then going a little bit lighter so you've got space to blend your inks. And then we're going to go into Fire Coral, which is more of an orangey sort of red. So we'll mix that in and then bring that down. Next up, we're going to use our Chameleon Pink, which is a really, really bright colour of ink, but it's going to match in really nicely when we blend these 2 colours together. And I think I'm going to go a little bit darker with that one there. And then next up is our Dusky Pink. Now this one is a little bit more purpley in colour, and you'll see that when we pop that down is a total contrast from that pink, but they blend so beautifully together because they are water based. So bringing that one down, then we're going to move on to our Pink Jelly Bean, which is a really light colour of pink. But because we're moving onto a different tone now, it's going to help you to mix those 2 colours together. So this one, you might want to just go over it a few times to really see that pink come through. And then we're going to go in with Apricot Sorbet, which is again a really nice sort of peachy orange tone. So we'll just do that over here. And then to finish it off, we're going to go in with a crazy bright canary yellow colour and do that just into this bottom section until it blends in really nicely with your inks. And now we can do the big reveal. So popping your inks to one side, I'm just going to use my nails to lift off the edge of here. Now if you pop all of your strips off, you'll be able to get off your edges quite easily. So we'll pop these off, and that reveals that really stark contrast of all the different colours we've mixed. But it also allows you, when you're mixing sort of different tones of pinks as well, like we have done across a lot of this card, it sort of allows you to break up that blending, and it gives you sort of like a more seamless finish. So just now remove the edges away, and just be really careful on these white bits as well, that if you have any ink remaining on your hands, that we sort of don't touch those areas, because we want it to be nice and clean. So we'll remove our bottom piece and the top edge, and then we can come down here, taking off that element there. And then you have a really funky background. So now we can make this into a really quick card. We'll just pop this to one side. I'm going to bring in a piece of parchment. We've got a sentiment which I've cut from our Heartfelt Love stamps and dies, and this is our With Love. I've backed it onto black and to white, and then we've got a piece of black as well. And I'm also going to utilize some of our gemstones. These are going to be our glitter gemstones. So let's get started. I think first of all we can start by wrapping this onto one side of our card. So we'll just use some of our tape, and I'm going to just stick a little bit onto those edges. We'll peel this away. And then we can stick our vellum over here. So have I done that on the right side? I think we've done it on the wrong side. So we'll stick a bit more over here. We'll do some strips so then we can stick it straight onto our darker black background. And there we go. So right up to your edge, and then we'll just wrap that around. Once you've got one side done, you can make sure that the other side is nice and straight before sticking that down, and then we'll add some more tape on here before we stick this onto a black layer of our Superior stamping card. So we'll stick this straight onto here, and that just gives us a really nice thin black edge, but it's going to really show off the colours in the middle. Then with our sentiment, what I'm going to do is just add a little bit of glitter. So I'm just going to stick some white craft glue onto my hand, and then on the bottom of these words here, I'm just going to add some glue, and then we'll use just a little bit of scrap just to catch the remainder of our glitter. So just pop that on just to give it a little bit more of a sparkle to the finish of your card. We've already got some foam pads on the back of here, so we can just peel off the backing of those, and we can stick this over the parchment on our card. I'm just going to stick that just in line here, and then to sort of add in with that glitter effect, we're going to go in with some of our pink glitter, and I think if we have some of our silver ones as well. So let's find those. We've got those here. So just dotting them around, and I think what I'm going to do is put them sort of on the pink colours that they sort of resemble. So we've got a darker pink there, we've got that lighter pink over here. Now you will need to be careful when doing this, because you just need to make sure that your gemstones have sort of dried. We've got that really nice cherry pink there. Let's get our, do we have some yellowy ones in our sepia? we'll do a little yellow one on this section here, and then we just need like a red for the top, so we can use that from our Christmas ones, and I think we'll leave it at that. Let's just do 3 silver ones to match it up, and we'll do them in this top corner, just running down that white edge that you'll be able to see. Just to match it up with the glitter we've added to our sentiment. And there is one card showing you how you can utilise your inks to create really fun backgrounds.